Fancy seeing you here. Me. Welcome back. Birth chart basics. Last lesson. Let's go. Hope y'all are ready. Oh, I'm right on time. 6:06. Let's go. We're finishing it up with aspects, which kind of pulls everything together. Hey, Bobby Chansey. Aspects will pull everything together for us. So this is the last lesson. Put it all together. I'm really excited for this one. Hey, Los. Super excited for this one. We're going to look at some celebrity birth charts too. I didn't get a lot of people telling me which celebrities to do, so it's fine to pick my own. Welcome, OCZ. Regular schmegular crew up in here. Love y'all. I'm really excited for this one. I feel like you guys are all gonna be professional readers after this, and I'm gonna have too much competition to keep this going. So congratulations, you're all gonna be graduating from Birth Chart Basics class tonight. Yay! Hey, Team Grace. So let's get started. I'm really excited. Let's go. Let me put up some graphics for us. Starting with our topic for today, which is aspects plus the overview, so we can look at some charts, we can test your knowledge. I'm like, guys, I'm so proud of you. You made it so far already, and I know that you guys are ready for this. I know you guys are excited for this. I know you guys are fucking you got it now. And I challenge you after this to go look at your chart and read your own chart and really see what makes you you. Because I know you already know what makes you you, but you're going to have more that makes you you. Gosh, thank you. I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. If you were here every day, you're a real one. If you weren't, that's okay. These lessons are forever. They live on forever. So don't worry. They'll still be on Patreon if you want to see it later. But I'm excited. Let's go. Welcome everyone. I'm gonna turn the comments off, but welcome everyone. Welcome in, come on in. Let's fucking go. We'll talk afterwards, so don't worry. We'll talk afterwards. Maybe I'll turn the comments back on when we start reading charts, because there's not too much that you have to see at the bottom, but we'll see how everyone feels, okay? So let's fucking go. Excited. Sorry, I'm geeking. Oh, hold on, I switched myself. Sorry, I'm geeking right now. She's geeked, bitch. All right, let's start with some facts. So aspects, sounds nuts. Sounds like, what the fuck is an aspect? Those are all the lines that you see running through your birth chart. So when I pull up a birth chart and you see all these lines going through it, that's aspects. And that's how the planets interact with each other in your chart. So that's how you know whether the energies are strong, whether they're conflicting, whether there's challenges there, whether there's opportunities there. They're each going to bring a different aspect for you. And I'm pretty sure every aspect every planet you have in your chart should aspect. Some things may not aspect as things go on, but in your birth chart, everything should aspect. At least, yeah, everything should aspect. You'll see when we get to it, but I'll break it down for you. Like I said, each planet will aspect differently based on the position, and that's what makes you truly unique. That's kind of where you get you from out of your chart, is the way you put everything together. So the signs, the planets, the houses, and the aspects. That's how you get you. There's nobody like you. No one's going to have the exact same chart as you. Nobody. Not even twins. Twins don't even have the exact same charts. So think of it that way. Like, astrology, yes, can be generalized to cover a bunch of bases, because when you have the same rising sign as somebody, especially if you're born within the same year, or like it's kind of the same time of the year, you kind of might have similarities, but you're going to be different people. And your birth chart makes you truly unique. So aspects are determined by degrees. So I'm going to talk a little bit about degrees. We're not going to focus on it. I'm just going to go like overview, because it does get a lot more mathematical when you break down astrology into like its deeper pieces. I'm not good at math, so we're not going to fucking do that, because I'm not going to embarrass myself on here, but we will do it in maybe a future lesson. We'll talk more about numbers and how to, talk about degrees. I'm going to talk about 2 degrees specifically in 2 of the people's charts that we're reading, because it's important, but otherwise we're not going to focus on it. Okay. There's 5 major aspects that happen within your chart. There's 4 minor subcategories of aspects I'm not talking about today. I'm only going to talk about the major 5, because those are the ones you're going to look for. Okay. Let's aspect this shit. All right, we're going to start with our first aspect with it, which is a conjunction, okay? Conjunction, think about that. I think that's like an English word too. A conjunction is 2 words put together, right? To make one big word. Okay, so this is two planets that come together. They're 0 degrees apart from each other. So 0 degrees, think about that. They're going to be very close to each other, within the same degree or within at least 10 degrees of each other. So in the same house, they're going to be in the same house. And they're very close together. You'll see them in your chart. These are like the easiest, this is like the easiest aspect to see in your chart, because you'll see the two planets next to each other. Okay, those are conjunct. Okay, it's really powerful. It's like a conjunction in a word. It makes a word even bigger, like powerful. Isn't that a conjunction? Am I wrong? Is that a conjunction? I'm pretty sure that powerful is a conjunction word. So it makes those two planets even more powerful wherever they are in your chart. So say you have, for example, Mercury and Moon. Oh my gosh, you might be a really deep thinker, and able to really communicate your feelings very well, because you have both powers coming together. Okay, it's very, very beneficial to have conjunctions in your chart. They make for even more powerful energy in whatever area that is. And this can indicate a focal point in your life too. So if you have a conjunction in, say, your first house, there might be a major focal point on your personality and how you present yourself and how you associate with yourself or something like that. Okay. So conjunction, most positive. All right. We love conjunctions, bitch. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Okay, so in addition to conjunctions, staying in the positive realm, we have a trine. Okay, a trine is a literal triangle made in your chart. Okay, it's two planets that are within 120 degrees or within 9 degrees either way of 120. Okay, so it makes like this. It could be thin. It could be like they're coming really close, but it's two that are aspecting the same direction. Make a triangle. You could have more than one trine in your chart. You could have several trines in your chart. I think the more you have can indicate some struggles, but trines are very lucky. If you have a trine in your chart, you might have good luck in that area, wherever it's at. You could have good luck happen. It gives you an advantage in whatever that area is. Like I said, too many trines can make a person lazy or weak, but having aspecting trines, at least one, is very, very good. And whatever area that's pointing in kind of points to maybe an easy part of your life or an easy area that you'll have in your life or an opportunity to move forward in whatever area that is. So I can't think of an example, but we'll see some trines when we go through. So you can actually see what the trine looks like, and then we'll see how it resonates with the people that we're reading. Okay. This is a very harmonious conjunction or a very harmonious aspect for planets to have in your chart. So really good. Just too many can be like, somebody who's just overly lucky and they kind of just like, they're just like, oh, whatever. Like, I know everything's going to like be fine. Like they don't really take anything seriously. They're not very humble. That's what too many trines can kind of make it out to be like, it's just too much that goes your way. That's just like something then goes wrong. But don't worry. I don't think that that's that common. Okay. All right, let's move on to our next positive aspect. Oh no, next one's a negative. Okay, we got our first negative aspect, which is an opposition. Okay, it looks just like that. Think of those two little loops as two planets, and they're literally opposite each other. Okay, two planets that are 180 degrees apart or within 9 degrees either way of 180. This is strain, okay? This is two opposites, okay? Being pulled in two opposite directions. So you know how our signs have opposites? If the planet is having an opposition in your chart, it's difficulty. It's a challenge, okay? There might be a struggle here that you have to work through throughout your life, or in some area of your life, this might be a struggle or a strain on you because you have this strong opposition going through your chart, which is basically either pulling those two energies in different directions or just causing a conflict between the two energies, depending on what planets they are. So that's a kind of difficult transit or aspect to have. I have an opposition straight up through my chart, so I feel that shit all the time. So you might feel that too if you have a strong opposition in your chart. See where it aspects, see what planets it's aspecting. I'm pretty sure that I have Jupiter in opposition with like fucking everything in my third house. So it's a struggle to get, expanded and to grow sometimes for me, or to expand my mind sometimes. So that's that. Okay. Any questions? If you guys have questions, put them in the questions box. You don't have to wait till the end to ask questions. This is kind of just like an overview of this, because it's not super in depth like the other things that we talked about. This is just kind of pulling it all together. So I feel like I can run through this pretty quickly so we can get to our chart. Okay, we got 2 more. Next, positive sextile. Okay, it looks like a little ampersand. Is that what that fucking is? I don't know if I said that right, but this is a favorable aspect. Okay, this is 2 planets that are 60 degrees apart, so it's almost like they're like on the side from each other. It's cute. We like this. This is opportunity. Okay, this is an opportunity that you have to actually put effort into, though. Unlike our trine, it's like the opportunity is there and it's just bound to happen. A sextile is like a good opportunity to take a chance on something, or where you will have ease putting effort into that area. Okay. Like I said, 60 degrees apart. It's cute. We like a sextile in the chart. I feel like it's one of those that you'll just have to see to understand what that is. It's not as like easy to like visualize what this looks like, but you'll see it when we look. Okay, just know that it's a good thing. Okay, our last aspect is a freaking square. Okay, it's literally 2 planets that are 90 degrees from each other. 90-degree angle ain't helping you. Okay, that makes a square. This is a challenge. This is stress. Okay, this is an obstacle, and there's lessons to be learned in this area in your life. Okay, wherever you have a square in your chart, don't take it as like, wow, I'm doomed for my life. But you do have to, it's a challenge that you will have to overcome. You'll have to learn lessons probably in this area. Whatever square in your chart, it's meant to teach you lessons, to develop strength. But it is difficult. I'm not gonna lie to you. That shit's multiple squares in your chart would be very difficult to have. We're gonna see somebody with multiple squares on the chart, and you'll understand who the fuck that person is. But squares ain't good. Okay, you don't want to square. When Mars is square with the moon, bad news. Okay, if you have Mars square with your moon, that is an argument waiting to happen. Mars square with Mercury is also not a great one. Anything square, just think of just a challenge. Think of like not good. But also it's always an opportunity to learn and grow and change, right? Overcoming a struggle is always a good thing. But it can be very difficult on you. So there's that. Okay. Moving around. That's our last aspect. The last thing I'm going to talk about is the most important factor in your chart. Okay, I didn't talk about this before because it didn't really fit into signs, planets, or houses. It's kind of its own thing, and it has other parts of it to it. We kind of talked about it in the, I think it might have been the houses lesson where I showed you the different lines in the chart, or the different houses and everything. There's the ascendant, the descendant, the midheaven, and the nadir that are also in your chart. We're not going to talk about those because it'll only confuse you further. The ascendant is the most important, so we're going to talk about that. And that is your rising sign. Okay, this is the sign that is rising over the eastern horizon at the time you were born. Okay, this is why it's very important to have your time of birth when you're looking at your birth chart, because that's going to bring you the most accurate orientation of your chart. Okay, because it'll put the signs over the houses that they're meant to be over. Without your birth time, it's almost impossible to determine exactly where these signs are, other than I've determined it just based on like knowing somebody pretty well. So then I'm like, okay, I can determine that you're probably a blah 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 rising, and or you're whatever it is, or by your moon sign. I can kind of figure it out sometimes, but it's difficult. So this is important to your personality, your outward personality that you project. Even if it's not intentional that you project this, people will perceive you as whatever this sign is. So say you are a Libra rising, right? Okay, so if you're a Libra rising, you might be somebody who's very like happy and joyful and likes to spend time with friends and have, go on dates and very romantic type of person. But you're really Aquarius or something. You might be perceived, oh, you must be a Libra. But no, you're like, no, I'm an Aquarius. That Libra rising is going to be louder in the way you outwardly project yourself, or the way other people are perceiving you. Okay. This also can determine your goals and your purpose in your life as well. So as a, say, Leo rising, you might have a strong desire to be seen and to be famous and to be successful in like a way that you are seen outwardly, or something where you are like the center of attention. It might be something that you're drawn to, or just a drawnness to success and something like that. Okay. In addition to your sign, your rising sign, this will also determine your chart ruler. Okay. So whatever sign you have as your rising sign, whatever planet rules that sign will be your chart ruler. Okay. So I think I used the example of Scorpio rising yesterday. So let's use Capricorn, for example. So if you're a Capricorn rising, your chart ruler will be Saturn. Okay, so wherever Saturn is in your chart, we have a very important part in your life. Okay, so say you have Saturn in the first house, you're gonna have difficulties with with yourself, with your appearance, with your body, maybe with the way you see yourself. Like, you're gonna have strong difficulties in your life in that area where you'll have to overcome, and it'll be a major part of your life that might come up more often than you wish, but it's supposed to draw you towards where you're supposed to be, which is more confident and strong-willed person. And a Capricorn rising is somebody who enjoys work and enjoys putting the work into whatever they're doing to better themselves, right? So that's just an example of a chart ruler. So just pay attention to what your rising sign is. If you don't know what time you were born, call your mama, call your dad, call whoever you think was over when you were born, and ask them what. Do you have any idea when I was born? And they might. Down to the minute is going to be most precise, but the signs change every 2 hours. So if you fall between an hour or so, we'll see some that will fall between, and so you can see what that looks like, how close it is, and that's something that's really important. So when looking at your birth chart, make sure you have your birth time. Okay, hold on, we have a question. Does each sign have a planet? Yes. Each sign does have a planet. I went over that in the first astrology lesson, which was about all the signs. So we'll talk about it a little bit more, but you can take a look back at that lesson for all the signs and what rules them and what houses are ruled by them. But that's in lesson number 1. Okay, so let's get into our charts. I'm so excited. Let's read the fucking charts. Okay, I love reading charts. I love looking at charts, geeking out over charts. So you already know who the fuck we're doing first. Big Lady Oprah. She's actually, I think I told y'all, she's actually the one that my book used as an example. So that's kind of why I pulled her, because I was like, well, the book pulled her too. So I feel like it's only relevant, right? So you'll see her chart here. This is from Astro Future. I told you guys this is the app that I use to pull charts. If you want it, it's on the App Store. I pay for it because I do this. You don't have to. It is a free app, but there's other features you can buy. So take a look at Astro Future after this if you want to take a look at your chart. Okay, so I put her placements under me here, just so it makes it a little bit easier to see what they are. And I put the major aspects at the bottom, okay? But we learned all this already. We learned what this looks like. We learned what the signs are, what the houses are, and what the planets are. The only thing that's new is all these lines in the middle, okay? The lines in the middle are those aspects, okay? I put them down in the bottom in the colors that they are in the chart to make it a lot easier. So let's go through this. So she is an Aquarius sun, obviously, January 29th. That date sound familiar? She is a Sag moon, okay? You'll see her Sag moon in her 12th house. It's actually in her 11th house, I think. Yeah, it's in her 11th house. You'll see it in Sag. You see how Sag rules her 12th house, and then just a little bit of her 11th house, just a tiny bit. That's how it looks when it overlaps. The signs and the houses overlap. She was born at 4:30 a.m. Exactly 4:30. which makes her rising sign right at the line between Capricorn and Sag. For some reason, yeah, I was checking the book if they had it as Sag, because she's 29 degrees Sagittarius rising, okay? I put the 29 degrees as important because that is a critical degree to have in your chart. If you have a 29 in your chart, 29 degrees in your chart, which also she's January 29th, so 29 in your chart, 29, 29, 11, 11. Okay, sorry, we'll do a numerology lesson another day, but 29 degrees is a critical place in your chart, okay? Not so much for her rising. I just wanted to call it out because it puts it right on the line between Sag and Capricorn, and that's what makes it critical because it's so close, okay? So when you have a planet at 29 degrees, it's probably at its peak. It could be very intense. It could be very critical for you or important for you. So pay attention to the degrees too. Again, we're not going to talk about degrees so much. It's the only one I really wanted to call out was the 29. But if there are, we'll talk about another time if you guys want a deep dive on degrees. But like every house is 30 degrees. So at 29, it's just right there. Okay, so she's a Sag moon. You'll see it in her 11th house. She's Aquarius Mercury, which is in her 2nd house with her moon. With her sun. Venus is there too, conjunct her sun. As you can see, they're sitting right on top of each other. She's got, what's next? Scorpio Mars. You'll see the Scorpio Mars in her 11th house. She's got, I said, Aquarius Venus. I spelled Aquarius wrong. We're not going to talk about it. She's got Jupiter in Gemini. Again, it doesn't really matter so much the sign once you get below Venus. It doesn't really matter the sign. It really matters the house. And the fact that she has Jupiter in her 6th house is why she's so wealthy and why she's so successful, okay? 6th house, like we learned, is the house of work, day-to-day activity, routine, but really your work, okay? And it's aspecting her 2nd house, which is a house of money, okay? Value, personal possessions. So her work automatically helps her grow tenfold. I just got chills. Tenfold she grows. She's got a trine. That's a trine right there. Do you see her Jupiter in the 6th house making a trine with Venus and Mercury? Okay, got Mercury trine Jupiter. See, it's in the list there. That's big. That's major. That's why she's such a good speaker. That's why she's such a good interviewer. She can interview literally anybody, talk to literally anybody, and really get deep. You see that Mercury in opposition with Pluto. I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit, but you could see that there is kind of a conflicting, right? It's a kind of a conflicting placement to have. However, it kind of works in her benefit because that Mercury helps her to look past the ego, to look past the things on the surface and go deeper. Okay, that's why she, again, such a good interviewer. Okay. Sorry, let me go back to the signs. So she's got Scorpio also. She's got Saturn in Scorpio. She's got Neptune in Libra. She's got Pluto in Leo, and she's got that rising Sag, okay? Her main aspects are Sun square Saturn, okay? So she's really had to work hard for her career. She's really had to make a name for herself. It hasn't always been easy. If you know anything about Oprah's background, she was fired from her first broadcasting job. So it's really been difficult for her to make a name for herself. But at the same time, she has so much passion, which we see with the Mars in the 11th house. She's got a lot of passion for people and for community. So she's worked through those difficult placements in order to make her career work for her, okay? Her Neptune also in her 10th house in Libra makes her someone who's able to connect with people and, again, visualize and think bigger, okay? She's able to innovate in a way that other people can't and can't see all sides of things. She can. That's what makes her her. Okay, let's look at these major aspects, these other major aspects. Okay, she's got Venus and Sun conjunct. Like I said, they're right next to each other. So That's a great placement to have, especially in the second house. Wow. Okay. That's like, I love myself. I love my life. I have everything I need. I have everything I love. And, you know, she's very humble and she's very giving, just giving out fucking cars. Remember that shit? Like, she's giving cars. Like, you have the abundance to give, she gives it. Okay, she gives her wealth, she gives her mind. That's part of her values, is her mind is very smart. And she's got strong Sag and Jupiter placements, so she's got a lot of luck on her side too. That Sag rising makes her a naturally lucky person. She's naturally lucky. She was born at a 29 degrees Sag rising. Oh, bitch, what the fuck? On the 29th. Like, divine time if I've ever heard it. What other aspects should we look at? Venus is square with Saturn. I feel like that really has to do with her relationships having conflict. Her career is so important to her, and she's really focused on her career that she can't really, the balance is not there, so she has a struggle to balance her relationships with her work. Okay, she values work over relationships, really. We have, what is that, Uranus in the 7th house. That's why she's not married. That's why she don't want to get married. Okay, it's her, where is Uranus? Uranus is enshrined with Mars. Friends, lovers, or nothing, baby. We ain't getting married, Stedman, okay? I want to rebel, okay, Uranus? I want to rebel. I want to do me. I want to be me. I want to be by myself. We can remain friends. We can have passion. We can have love. We can have sex. But I don't want to settle down. Why would I want to settle down with you when I can have everybody else? The fuck? Oh, we got a question. Hold on. Can you look up Tyler Perry's birth chart afterwards? Did you not see that I posted earlier that what celebrities did you want to see? And nobody said anything? Okay, so no. We can look at it later, though. We could definitely look at Tyler Perry. I think that he would actually probably has a really interesting chart, too. Probably similar to Oprah in the wealth aspect of, like, giving and generosity. I don't know when his birthday is. If somebody wants to pull his birthday, I can probably figure out his moon sign at least, but we can look at it afterwards. Got another question. Okay, so no. Okay. What other aspects do we want to look at here? We looked at a trine. Oh, let's look at a sextile. Okay, sun is sextile with moon. Okay, you see the sun at the bottom, Aquarius. Moon's that cute one up there, right into Sag. She's a feeler, but she's not a deep feeler. She's somebody who's not gonna settle down. She's really like she's got her own way of doing things, her own way of thinking, her own way of being, and she's really unique in that way. Like, there's nobody else like Oprah. There will never be anybody else like Oprah. She's her own person. Her emotions don't rule her. They help her. They only help her to see more of what she can do or more of what she can possess and gain, and also give. She's got a lot of Libra energy too, so that helps to give. Okay, so you'll see a couple planets, or we're not going to call them planets. They're not planets. They're either asteroids or nodes or other planetary things going on. That's why they're not aspecting. So up there's a black moon Lilith, the Chiron, and her north node are actually conjunct. That's very interesting. That she's been here before. She's lived this life before. She was here to complete a journey and she fucking did it. But we're not going to talk about Chiron and north node right now because, again, that only confuse you guys. But that's the bare minimum. That's the basic of it. And I does that make sense? Does Oprah make sense to you now? I feel like seeing her chart gives her more depth to her and gives you a better understanding of who she is, how she acts, why she acts or reacts the way she does. She's a very passionate person, passionate about community, and passionate about what she does in her career. So that's Oprah. All right. You guys ready for who's next? Who's next? Go, 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 go. Who's next? Leo Dicaprio, because he's born on 11/11. He's literally born on November 11th. 11/11, okay? His name is Leo, but he's a full-blown Scorpio, okay? Lot of Scorpio in his chart. Do you see all that Scorpio? Scorpio, Scorpio, Scorpio. And then shit ton of Libra, okay? His chart is one of the most fascinating charts that I've looked at recently because almost everything is on this one side and it's I get chills every time I look at his chart. Everything is on one side and it's so positive. Okay, he's only got 2 challenging aspects, and it's Saturn and it's what is that one? It's Neptune and Jupiter. But regardless, all these positive aspects, it's like the most satisfying chart. I'm like, no fucking wonder. And you see all this focus on his first and second house. It's really about himself and him and how his image is so important to who he is. That Scorpio-ness is why we all love Leonardo DiCaprio. Like, we look at Leo and we're like, what is it about you? I don't even think you're that cute. You have a really round face, but like, I'm obsessed with you. I don't know what it is. It's the Scorpio. Okay, he's a Scorpio moon, Libra rising, Libra Mercury, Scorpio Mars, Scorpio Venus, yep. And then he's got Pisces Jupiter, Cancer Saturn, Libra Uranus, Sag Neptune, Libra Pluto, and he's a Libra rising. Okay, so much Libra and Scorpio. And so this is, I feel, the chart of a sex symbol. Like, if I was gonna find a chart, I should look up Prince next. This is like, he's just sexy. He's got it. Libra, the sign of love and beauty and art and what the fuck. His moon is there. His Pluto is there. He's very deep emotionally, but also you'll see that his 7th house only has his Chiron in it, which is an interesting placement to have, but otherwise it's empty of no planets. So I feel that's the reason he's not married. It's also ruled by Aries for him, so also it just feels like he's not the type that's going to want to settle down. He wants to do his own thing. He's about his career, himself, and his possessions and what makes him happy. Really, it's not really about other people. You'll see his 11th house is empty too. His 3rd house has some aspects in it, but again, like, a lot of empty houses make me feel like it's the focus for him is on himself, and it probably has been. Okay, Mercury is aspecting Jupiter for him in his 6th house. Let's go through these aspects. So we have Sun trine Saturn, very positive. Like, so Saturn, the planet of restrictions and limitations and lessons in your 10th house, can indicate some difficulty in your career or lessons to learn within your career. However, his Sun is in trine with his Saturn. So like, the more he learns, or the more he grows, or the more he tries, or the more he grows and the more he expands his abundance, and he's just very popular and he's just very likable. And the conflict that he sees is more with his emotions. I feel like he's probably very emotional about his career and takes things very seriously and rather sensitively. But in other ways, he's just very focused on his career and on himself. He could have a lot of ego, but it's hiding underneath. It's kind of deep. He's a very deep emotional person. He's probably great in bed. He got Mars and Scorpio and Venus. Yeah, he'd be fucking. What else he's got going on? He's got Jupiter square with Neptune. Okay, so I feel like this could be about like early life or early childhood. Might have like not had a strong direction of where he wanted to go in life, and maybe rebelled a little bit about, you know, what his direction would be. You know, he didn't want a normal life. He didn't want to do something that everyone else was doing. He wanted to be an actor. He's not gonna, you know, work at a desk or, you know, go to school. He wants to do other things. Like, his 9th house is empty too, ruled by Gemini. Like, he's naturally smart, doesn't need to really worry about it, but he's more focused on other things, more focused on his career and, you know, how to make money, how to maintain his money, how to grow his money. What else we have? Moon. Oh, I think I talked about that one already. Okay. Sun conjunct Venus. Another Sun conjunct Venus, like Oprah in the 2nd house. Passionate about their work, their wealth, and the things that they possess. They love nice things. He likes nice things. He's really, Venus in the 2nd house is like, I like nice things. I have nice things. I have a lot of money. Sun in the 2nd house, I have a lot of money from what I do for work. Those are all wealth placements there. A lot of wealth, a lot of creative energy too. He's got Neptune sextile with Pluto. He's a master creative mind. That's really powerful to have, especially his third house, that Neptune is in his third house, which is the house of mind. And then the 12th house, Pluto, is loud. His chart ruler would be Venus, which is in his second house as well. That's why he's so passionate and successful, and like I said, a sex symbol and somebody that we all desire and want to be like or want to be with, right? So that's our boy Leo. Okay, so we did 2 positive people. Now we're going to do 2 challenging people, okay? Let's get ready. This was one I didn't really want to pull, but I was like, you know what? Just for the sake of saking, let's do it. So, Trump, he's a Gemini. Did anyone not know that? I feel like we all know that because he don't shut the fuck up. So Gemini energy is loud for him. Sun in the 10th house. So yeah, yapping. Yappity dap dap. Plus he's got 2 other planets there, so he's got a stellium in Gemini, which means that he really don't shut the fuck up. So we have Gemini Sun, Sag Moon, Leo Rising. Okay, just to set that off, that's a lot. Okay, what did we learn this week about Leo? Ego. What did we learn about Sag? Growth, expansion, big ego, big. And then Gemini, we got a couple questions. Hold on already. Who was the first person? I'm late. We did Oprah first, of course. Okay, so he's Cancer Mercury. Okay, so emotional. Think emotional, very sensitive, you know, when he off tweeting, that's that Cancer Mercury energy, okay? Leo Mars, okay? We're back with the ego. We're back with some fire on fire here, okay? Then we have Cancer Venus. He's a little baby back bitch, okay? Then we have Jupiter Libra. Again, doesn't so much matter the sign. Where is that Jupiter? Oh, boom, wealth placement. He's got a good old Jupiter in the second house. That is a wealth placement. Okay, if you have Jupiter in the second house, you're literally entitled to money in your life. You will literally have wealth in your life. You will have everything you want in your life. Your wealth will continue to grow throughout your life. So he's got a good old wealth placement there. Where's Saturn at? Saturn is in Cancer in his 11th house. Cool. Again, emotional, 11th house, conflict between people and communities. His ability to connect with people might be difficult or have been difficult in his life to connect with people because of that Saturn energy there in his 11th house. You know, conflict between communities and, you know, uniting the people, right? Hold on. Don't roast Leo's, lol. I'm not roasting Leo suns. I'm roasting Leo energy. Okay, there's a difference. I'll never roast anybody by your sun sign. I will roast you though by your rising, and he's a Leo rising at 29 degrees. Again, the critical degree. I feel like had he been a Virgo rising, I feel like he might be just a little bit more humble or a little bit more to himself. But we know, no. We got homeboy at a critical degree of 29 Leo. Okay. It's a hard one on us. But he's got Gemini, Uranus. He's got Gemini in his anus. And he has a Libra, Neptune. Okay. And then Pluto and Leo also. Okay. Chart ruler for him would be the sun. Ego. Where's that sun? 10th house. Literally, it's all about work. It's all about his career. It's all about his public image. I'm sorry I'm making so many faces. I really fucking hate this dude. But his chart just makes him make a lot of sense. Okay, that's all I wanted to prove here was that his chart is one of the ones that I'm like, yeah, that's why. You see all that red? Okay, he's got sun in opposition with moon. Like we saw with our 2 good people, they had Sun and Venus conjunct, okay? It makes them very likable people, makes them very personable people, okay? He's got Sun in opposition with his moon, which means that his Sun, his moon, his emotions, his feelings are direct opposite of his Sun. Conflict constantly between those two. Just his moods going off, okay? Just going off. Sag moon too is I hate to say this about Sag moons, but it seems to be a recurring theme that Sag moons are rather annoying. I don't know if you know any Sag moons, but I'm telling you, they're annoying, okay? Daisy is a Sag moon. She's kind of annoying, but I love her so much. But Sag moon can be kind of annoying, placement, kind of conflicting, and then in opposition with the sun, it just makes her a really difficult person to deal with emotionally. Be flying off the handle, okay? He's got Mars sitting on his ascendant in Leo also, which makes for him a very explosive personality, explosive person in argument. When confronted with conflict, he is going to come back at you, okay? There's a lot going on here, I have to say. He's got a lot happening in his chart, but you can see the focus on his chart between his 10th and 2nd house. Okay, those two work houses, those wealth housements, those succeedant houses, right? We learned about those succeedant houses, so the success houses, he's got them. That's the thing. He's got them. But he's got a lot of challenges between the people in his life and how he projects himself to the people in his life. And that's where he has the most issues, okay? He's got Mercury also square with Neptune. The way he thinks and speaks is not always the way it's the easiest to understand. It's in conflict with the dreams and aspirations that he has. It's in direct conflict with that. It's like not, that doesn't match up, okay? He thinks one way because he thinks that way. It's like, no, that's just not how things work, broski. You can't just speak something into truth just because you think it is. Like, that's not the case. So that's that. And then Moon and Uranus, again, is that kind of energy too. Like, thinking that your feelings are valid because you feel them doesn't make them valid to everybody else. So that's what that one is, okay? He's got Moon and Jupiter sextile. Again, that wealth placement is heavy. You know, he's entitled this wealth in his life because of his family, okay? His moon, his Sag moon is in his 4th house, which is the house of family and roots. So he's got a legacy aspect, if you will, between that. So it's just because he's got it from his family. So his daddy set him up. Cool. Congrats. Oh, we got a question. I'm a Sagittarius. Okay, I love you though, okay? But you can ask your mom if you are an annoying kid, depending on where your Sag is at in your chart, or your moon. So like he was definitely an annoying kid because he's got Sag moon in the 4th house. So definitely an annoying kid, but he's definitely an annoying adult because it aspects his 10th house. So it depends where the moon is in your chart too about when you were most annoying. But I love you regardless of your Sag moon. Sag moon doesn't make you terrible. This makes him terrible though. So we have that. Okay, we have one more chart to look at, and I think you guys are gonna like this one. Kanye, Jesus. All right, let's get this. Where's this God complex? I know we all want to know. Okay, we'll find it. Okay, he's Gemini sun as well. I'm sorry I pulled 2 Geminis. I didn't mean to do that. I only did that because they're both annoying as fuck, and I felt like they would be the most interesting to look at. They're born about like a week apart, so that's also weird. And they both love each other, so sorry. So Gemini sun, Pisces moon. Oh my God. Taurus Mercury, Taurus Mars, and Taurus Venus. Hold on. I need some water. Because what the fuck? It's a lot of slow ass energy, okay? Taurus is slow. Slow. Also very stubborn. So all that Taurus energy is loud for my boy Kanye, okay? He's very, very stubborn. He thinks his way of thinking is the correct way because he thinks it. He thinks it to be true, right? Taurus thinks they're right. They're so stubborn. Oy. Then he's got Gemini, Jupiter. With the Gemini. Then he's got Leo, Saturn. Oh, God. Then he's got Uranus and Scorpio. Oh, my God. And then Neptune, Sag, Pluto, Libra, rising Cancer. Okay. All right. You see all the red? I don't really have to point it out. You see all that red, right? The red are challenging or difficult aspects that he has, okay? My God. Looking at his chart, for some reason, stresses me the fuck out. Okay, he's got Saturn in the 2nd house. Now, not a wealth placement. The opposite of that. He had to work really hard for his money, okay? He grew up broke. That's a grew up broke placement, or grew up poor, or had difficulty with money growing up, had to work on his view of money, or how he values money, how he views money. Now this man is rich as fuck. So that proves that it doesn't matter if you have Saturn in the second house. Doesn't mean that you will always be poor. It just might mean that at some point in your life, you may struggle with money, or how you view money, or have to learn lessons about money. Okay, so he might have learned or got to a very important part in his life once he hit 29, once he had a Saturn return, which earned him this this success and this new life that brought him a ton of abundance. So that's great. We're happy for him with that. Okay, but he's got Jupiter in opposition with Neptune. So his ideals and his dreams aren't always going to be accepted or able to come to fruition for him. He won't always be supported in his ideas and dreams because of that too. He's got very big ideas and dreams that kind of seem out of the box and out of the realm, which is kind of why, you know, people are like, why are you making shoes that look like plastic? Like, it's just weird. But some people like it. Where's Uranus at for him? He's got Uranus in, oh God, okay. He's got Uranus in opposition with his Venus. Oh, wait, where is it? Oh, maybe I didn't put it on. It's not a major aspect then. But he does have Uranus sextile with, is that sextile? Yeah, he's got Uranus sextile with the moon. I didn't write that one down either, but I feel like that's an important one too, because I feel like that's the way he thinks is, yes, different. And he loves that, and he's very passionate about that, and that's something that makes him very different and unique. Okay, the way he thinks is unlike anybody else, and he's able to expand on that and grow that. He's able to think very like a visionary, and that's a power source for him. Okay, let's talk about his sun. Yeah, he got sun square with Mars, just like homeboy Trump, or I think Trump had an opposition, but square is even worse. Conflicting. His emotions are conflicting with his ego, okay? Constant conflict. That can be seen as a bipolar or a mental illness placement too, to have that conflict there, especially because his sun is in his 12th house. And that, the way, that 9th house energy, the moon, it's almost expanded, and the way he learns might have been difficult, and the way he expresses himself emotionally is difficult, and he constantly is pulled back and forth between his different emotions and feelings. So that's a struggle for Kanye. What else do we have? We have Sun sextile with Saturn. Exactly. So I feel like it's all about learning lessons for him with his Saturn placement. And I feel he learned a lot of lessons throughout his life and how he values money. He's also got Sun conjunct Jupiter. That's why he's popular. That's why everybody loves him. Okay, he's got Jupiter in the 11th house. Okay, that I think I said that in the planets class, that Jupiter in the 10th or the 11th house is a popularity placement. If you have Jupiter in the 11th house, you're very likable. If you have Sun in the 11th house too, you're also very likable. So that's another reason that makes him popular too. He's got all that going for him. Okay, I'm gonna keep that shit positive as fuck. Okay, let's go back to all his Taurus energy, because I feel like that's relevant because it's in his 10th and 11th house. So his Venus and so Venus, art, beauty, that's a strong part of his career in his life, and the way he views, you know, his music, his fashion sense. Those are all really important things for him. And Mars there conjunct in his 10th house make it a big part of his career to show off his art and beauty and music in his life. Okay, in Taurus is rules Venus, or Venus is ruled by vice versa. Venus and Taurus, it's home there. Okay, Venus is at home in Taurus for him, so it's comforting for him to enlighten and fall into this, you know, values, things that he values and sees as beautiful, to put them out there in the world and share them with people. That's part of his life. That's part of his purpose. Okay, he's okay, let's talk about his rising sign for a little bit, because I feel like that's the one that everyone's like, huh? Okay, so he's a Cancer rising, which means his chart ruler is the moon, which is in Pisces, which is in opposition or in square with the sun. So it's really a conflict for him. Okay. He's ruled by his emotions. He's ruled by his feelings, which is part of his downfall, because he lets his emotions run him in the moment. And then he says things he doesn't mean. Okay. He says things that he doesn't actually fully mean, like long term. He might meant them in the moment. You can see his Mercury is the only planet in his chart that's not aspecting. And that's weird. That's weird. But it will aspect at different parts in his life. That's why he's quiet at sometimes. He's reserved. He's keeps his opinion to himself. And then boom, he just fucking flies off the handle telling everybody everything. Going off. And then he just retreats, goes back again, not talking, no, nothing. Then boom, again. Because at certain parts, that Mercury is going to aspect. And he's going to come out with it. And he's going to say something. And he's going to either draw people the wrong way or push people away. Or he's going to pull them in whatever direction he's going. But he's got a very conflicting chart. He's got a very conflicting life. He's lived a very tough life, and he's grown so much. He's learned a lot about himself, but we see where he's at now where's he at now? I pulled a picture just for reference of who we were talking about, but I mean, his values are questionable. Okay, that's it. That's everything. This is exactly 50 minutes. Wow. What a thing. Any questions? Any questions? That's it. We did it. I'm turning comments back on. That's it. We did it, y'all. Welcome. I hope that you learned something. I hope you learned how to read your chart. I hope you learned that, whatever your birth chart says doesn't, set you up for failure. There's always room for opportunity. It's just things in your chart that can help you. It can help you through your day, seeing, oh shit, today my sun is conjunct the moon. This is a great day to, feel my feels. Or right now, the sun is conjunct Venus in the sky. So this is a great time for luck. This is a great time for love. This is a great time to do something you enjoy and something that makes you happy. So take care of this sun conjunct Venus energy on a beautiful Friday. I hope you have a great night and a great day. I'm going to start another live if you want it. Yes, my mom said I wasn't an annoying child. We need to see where that moon is at in your chart, because I gotta see where that annoying energy is at. I'm just kidding. It's just big and it's just fun and grandiose and it's a lot. It's just a lot. That's what it is. But that's it. I'm gonna start a new live so we can chat. We can talk about our charts together. Whose chart do we want to look at next? We want to look at Tyler Perry. Let me pull him for a sec. And I was an angel. Let me pull Tyler Perry's chart and I'll pull it up on the live on the next one. Okay. I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me this week. It was so fun. I finished my first week of classes and I hope that you like this. I hope that you come back. Our next lesson is going to be on Saturn Return. I'm going to do that with my bestie so we can share with you our Saturn Return experience and what you can expect in your Saturn Return. Maybe you're going through your Saturn Return right now and you need guidance, or you're coming up on it. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about what to expect and what important things to know. Okay. I love you so much. Did you get the app open for charts? I didn't get the app open for charts, but that's okay. I'm going to get it off my phone. I'm going to send it to my iPad and then we're going to look at it. Okay. Love you guys. See you in a minute. Bye.